This is a CBNnews.com update. I'm Mark Martin. The Federal Reserve is planning new rules to protect future homebuyers from bad lending practices. The plan will crack down on shady actions like giving loans to those with spotty credit or with low incomes. Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke says this will apply to all new loans made by lenders of all types. This way, homeowners will be protected from being lured into purchasing a house they really can't afford. Bernanke plans to issue the new rules next week. In Japan, world leaders at the G8 summit are signing off on what's being called a 50-50 pledge. The agreement is set to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 50% by the year 2050. President Bush says he won't go along with the agreement unless China and India do. India and China are not formally part of this G8 summit, but their leaders, along with ones from other developing nations, have been invited as guests. Still, environmentalists criticize the 2050 target. They want to see emissions cut by an earlier date. In health news, pediatricians are calling for an aggressive approach toward high cholesterol in children. They are recommending using cholesterol-lowering drugs in children as young as 8 years old. But some doctors are urging caution because little is known about the long-term effects. The new guidelines urge parents to get their children's cholesterol levels checked. And for more on this story, go to our homepage at CBNnews.com. You'll find it in our Health and Sciences section. The downturn in the economy has some lawmakers suggesting the national speed limit should be rolled back to 55 miles an hour. They say a recent study shows driving 55 would save the U.S. 167,000 barrels of oil a day. But mechanics say if you drive a high-performance vehicle, a slower speed limit will not save much gas. Supporters of the lower speed limit say slowing down would have another benefit. It would hopefully reduce the 4,000 deaths every year on our nation's highways. An Oregon man took a very unusual flight over the weekend in a lawn chair carried by balloons. 48-year-old Kent Couch flew from Idaho to Oregon with the help of 150 helium balloons at nearly 15,000 feet in the air. The successful trip took nearly 9 hours, and Couch carried a BB gun to pop balloons for a smooth landing. He says the flight was his boyhood dream. He would like to take his next lawn chair flight over the English Channel or Australia, but only if his wife will let him. Coming up later today on CBN's News Watch, why Iraqi leaders want a new timetable for the withdrawal of troops. And in health matters, hear more about the controversial issue of children taking cholesterol drugs. You can check your local listings or watch the newscast streamed here online at 4 p.m. Eastern. And for more news around the world 24/7, stay with CBNnews.com.